Welcome back into another video I have for you guys here today on Madden 20. Today it's going to be another video in the college simulation series, whatever you want to call it. Today we are doing Alabama. If you guys end up enjoying this video and if you like Madden 20 franchise content in general, consider hitting that subscribe button down below because I mainly do upload Madden 20 franchise content. Also, if you enjoyed the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you could hit that like button down below. And while you're down there, if you'd like to follow me on Twitter, join my Discord, or check out my second channel, links to all three are in the description. Let's begin going over this team. So this team is extremely good aside from the quarterback position, but that will be fixed in this upcoming draft because we will be able to draft Tua. But for this first season, we have AJ McCarron, who's a 60 overall. I should also mention that I found a list of players who went to Alabama who are currently in the NFL off of some random website, and I kind of followed that and made sure all the transactions were made. So if I missed anybody, it's because they didn't have them listed on the website and they just completely did not cross my mind. There are also a couple players I just decided not to go after because there was no point to having them on the team. For example, TJ Yeldon went to Alabama, but we already have 4 running backs who would be starting over him anyway. We don't even need Kenyon Drake on this team, but since he was already on the Cardinals, I figured why not keep him. But yeah, like there's a few players who I decided not to go after because of just the depth at the position. We didn't really need like everybody who I saw on the website. Like there's some centers I could have went after. I even went after this guy, even though I probably shouldn't have because he's a 62 overall. He's never going to start over Ryan Kelly. There's a few other guys like that as well. Let me know if I missed anybody massive, and I'll completely apologize for it because I did not mean to. It was not deliberate if I missed somebody who would have started on this team. Let me know though if you see anybody who I did miss. Moving on to running back though, we have an incredible group of running backs. Derrick Henry will be the number 1. He's a 91 overall superstar X Factor. Then we have Mark Ingram at number 2 at an 86 overall. Josh Jacobs is the number 3 at an 85 overall. He's a rookie as well. He'll probably be better than Mark Ingram after this season. And then Kenyon Drake is the number 4. At receivers though, it's like just as insane. We have Julio Jones, Amari Cooper, and Calvin Ridley. We'll also be adding Jerry Jeudy this year. And if I went a couple more seasons using real draft classes, the receiving core would be insane. The offensive line here isn't like great, but we do have some pretty good pieces. Jonah Williams isn't bad, only a 72, but has at least star development. Ryan Kelly is a really good center. DJ Fluker is a pretty good right guard. We have some good pieces here, but the overall offensive line isn't that solid. We have a good tight end duo though, OJ Howard, Irv Smith Jr. The defense here is definitely more stacked. It's an 87 overall compared to an 83 for the offense. I decided to run a 4-3 with this team, even though pretty much all of these guys down here on the D-line are 3-4 defensive ends, or, you know, defensive tackles and whatnot. But I just decided to get as many of these guys playing as possible. I feel like that's probably in the best interest of the team, even if they don't necessarily fit a 4-3. Like Jonathan Allen. Jonathan Allen is 294 pounds, doesn't fit super well in a 4-3. He's also number 4 for some reason. The numbers got really weird. I'm sure he can play fine in a 4-3 though in simulation here. We also didn't have that many good pass rushing outside linebackers if I wanted to play a 3-4. We had more like good middle linebackers so that I can move outside and make them 4-3 outside linebackers. So I think this is probably the best case scenario for the defense here, for the defensive line at least. Like, yeah, these guys don't completely fit this scheme, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Technically they do though, like Deshaun Hand, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen. They technically all fit this scheme if you look at the puzzle piece. The secondary is loaded on this team though. We have Marlon Humphrey and Minkah Fitzpatrick at the 1 and 2 corner. We have Levi Wallace, Drake Kirkpatrick too. I'm aware Minkah Fitzpatrick plays free safety, but we have a lot of safety depth, and I figured he'd be used pretty well at cornerback because at free safety we have Eddie Jackson, who's an 89 overall. Strong safety we have Kareem Jackson, who's an 87 overall. He's a bit old, but if he ever regresses too poorly, we have Landon Collins and HaHa Clinton-Dix to start at strong safety. So we have a lot of depth here on the defense. I'm excited to see what this team can do. I don't think they're going to play all that well this first season. I wouldn't be surprised though if they do finish above 500, but after this season, I think this team is going to be incredible. I had a couple questions on my last video in this series as to why I chose the Falcons, so I guess I'll explain why I chose the Cardinals in this video. I'm just basing it off of like uniforms, and I think the Cardinals are like the closest to what Alabama looks like in college. Obviously it's not like exactly the same, but I'm gonna do my best to kind of match the NFL team to the college team in that regard. Anyway though, we did not make the playoffs. The team went 7-9, actually not all that bad. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they made it past 500. They got really close. AJ McCarron actually had a really good year. 31 touchdowns, 6 interceptions is not bad at all. Derrick Henry ran the ball super well, 5 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns. We have to run the ball more with him though. Amari Cooper had a really good year. Julio Jones didn't play the best. You know, O.J. Howard gets 5 touchdowns. Expecting a little bit more, though, from Julio in the future. Jonah Williams letting up 14 sacks. Not the best either. That's a ton of tackles, though, from Dante Hightower. 141. 17 tackles for loss for Daron Payne. Not too many sacks, but that's probably because most of these guys are out of position. They probably will be the rest of this rebuild here. Just to get them on the field as much as possible. Maybe at some point I will switch to a 3-4. I don't know. 1 defensive touchdown, though. 1 safety. And we have 1 blocked kick. Zach Kerr didn't go to Alabama, so it doesn't matter. Forced fumbles, we have 3. Oh, those guys went to Alabama as well. Tom Brady ends up winning MVP. Okay, anybody from the Cardinals? No, I don't see anybody in this list. I kind of doubt we're going to have anybody from the Cardinals. Maybe A.J. McCarron sneaks in. No, I don't see him there. Defensive Player of the Year, though, Khalil Mack. Dante Hightower at number 2. At least we almost got that award. Offensive Rookie of the Year is Daniel Jones. Josh Jacobs down there at number 8. It's just funny that he's an 87 overall, but not even the starting running back on this team. Defensive Rookie of the Year is Jelani Tavai. Nobody from the Cardinals. All right, not that big of a deal. Let's just simulate all the way to the Super Bowl. I guess we'll see who wins it. So I went through and starred everybody in the draft who I would like to take. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get every single player. I'll probably have to trade up a little bit, but I do want to make sure I at least get the guys who will come in and start. But anyway, let's advance the week here. The Rams and the Browns are in the Super Bowl. The Browns are going to win. Never doubt the Browns. And they actually lose. Maybe you can doubt the Browns sometimes. 38-28. I'm going to go through and re-sign all the players from Alabama, and I will see you guys in the draft. We have a lot of draft picks here in the 2020 NFL draft because there are a ton of prospects out of Alabama, which is cool to see. But anyway, let's take the first overall pick. I'm going to be taking Jedrick Wills with this pick just because he is the highest rated prospect currently. He's at number 7, followed by Tua at number 9, and then Jerry Jeudy at number 10. So let's start off here by taking Jedrick Wills. He's going to be a 76 overall hidden development trait. The Raiders pick now, they'll probably take Chase Young. I highly doubt they take anybody from Bama. They do go Chase Young. Okay, that's nice to see. We are then up again. Part of me wants to go Tua here, but he usually kind of like stays around for a little bit. I can probably get him at my next pick, and I don't know if Jerry Jeudy will make it. So I'm going to go ahead and take Jerry Jeudy now. If anything happens with Tua, I'll just make sure I get him on the team, kind of like how I did with Chase Young in my Ohio State one. But Jerry Jeudy is now on the team. This wide receiver core is just insane. So the Buccaneers, I wonder who they'd go with right now. They're going to go with Andrew Thomas. That's kind of what I figured would happen. And the 49ers shouldn't take Tua. They go Isaiah Simmons. Okay, so now at number 6, we will be going with Tua. So we finally have a quarterback. He's a 73 hidden development trait. He's going to be a god for us. I have 2 more first-round players who I obviously want to take. So I have Raekwon Davis. And I also have Henry Ruggs. I feel like I can wait until pick number 10 to get Raekwon Davis. I really hope I'm able to. We're going to try it out here. Tristan Wirfs just went to the Jets. Okay. Can we get Raekwon Davis? We still can. That's nice to see. He's a 75 overall hidden development trait. He probably won't play all that much just because of how much depth we have at defensive line. It's all good though. At least he's on the team. I traded up with the Lions to get the 11th overall pick, and with this one, we are going to take Henry Ruggs. I actually had to get rid of a few Alabama players. It's not that big of a deal though because they were backups. Henry Ruggs though is on the team. It's funny because he's just going to be a backup as well. Maybe he can be like our kick returner or something just because of how electric he is. But the wide receiver core on this team is just stupid. This is where it kind of starts getting weird because I'm not going to be able to take the rest of these guys. But I have Xavier McKinney or Anthony Jennings. I can try to trade up here in a bit. I think I'm going to try that. We're going to take Xavier McKinney first. He's a 73 with hidden. Another player who won't start, but of course he's excellent depth. You know, the next time I do this with a team, you know, that has a lot of players in this upcoming draft, I'm just going to have to go after a bunch of free agents just so I can trade them away in the draft. This has actually been kind of difficult. But Anthony Jennings is on the team. It says he went to NA as his college. He went to Alabama. I don't know why that happens whenever you edit some players in draft classes. Like, I didn't even edit him, but I've had this happen to me in the past. Whenever you go through and edit a player, it just randomly messes up, like, their college and, like, their appearance sometimes. I don't know why it does that, but Anthony Jennings is on the team. He probably won't get much play time, but at least he's here. This is definitely when I'm going to miss out on a couple other players. It's really not a big deal, though, because they're probably in the 60s. But is there anyone left who I can take? I have 2 7th-round draft pick players. I'm just going to simulate to the end of the draft. The computer should take those guys. All they really cared about in that draft was the first round, is more specifically Tua, because Tua's going to make this team so much better. But let's check out the draft recap. You guys kind of already saw who I ended up taking. They should have went with that, you know, tackle and that running back. They did. So Brian Robinson and Matt Womack are on the team. But we also got a couple other guys who did not go to Alabama. It's really no big deal, though. So now the team is actually in a really good spot, I think, to make the playoffs. Let me advance this week, though, spend all the experience I can. mainly the coach experience, and I'll go over the team. This offense just has so many insanely good players, and we were able to land 4 more, of course, in the draft. We have Tua, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Jedrick Wills, who all have, hidden development trade. 3 of those guys are going to be getting a lot of snaps. Poor Henry Ruggs all the way down there in the depth chart, but I can't justify starting him for anybody else above him, to be honest. It's just crazy how much depth we have at the position. Like I said earlier in the video, if I were going a few more seasons with real, draft classes, we'd have an even more insane receiving core these next couple of years. But anyway, on the defense, we didn't really land anybody in the draft who was going to, get much playing time, but a couple players did go up in development. I actually never pointed it out. Minka Fitzpatrick is up to Superstar X Factor. Dante Hightower is up to Superstar. I don't know if anyone went up on offense. I know Josh Jacobs is finally revealed to have Superstar, if you guys didn't already know that. But this team is incredible. We should make the playoffs with the talent we have. It's another weird situation on the defense with the defensive line because, none of these guys fit a 4-3. Maybe if they don't perform well this season, I will shift to a 3-4. It'll be weird to figure out who I want, rushing off the edge and whatnot, but I will figure it out at some point. But I think this team will make the playoffs regardless of that weird defensive scheme issue. Let's see what happens, though. As I expected, the team made the playoffs this season. We finished 11-4-1. Winning the NFC West. That's nice to see. How did Tua do in his rookie season, though? Over 4,000 yards, 26 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. A pretty solid rookie season. Not that many touchdowns, but it's all good. Rushing-wise, Derrick Henry was very good. 17 touchdowns, 4.5 yards per carry. 1,045 yards, a really good season for him. Jerry Jeudy was the slot receiver this past season, so it makes sense as to why he had the most yards. Slot's super, cheesy in simulation here. 1,139 yards, 7 touchdowns. Julio Jones gets 8 touchdowns. Amari Cooper gets 7. Jedrick Wills seemed to struggle. The tackle duo in general seemed to struggle. The rest of the O-line, though, was doing their thing. Another really good season for Dante Hightower in terms of tackles. 13 tackles for loss for Daron Payne. 8.5 sacks for Quinnen Williams, actually playing pretty well at edge. 7 for Dante Hightower, that was really good at middle linebacker. A handful of players with 2 picks. A couple players with 1 interception down there. We have no touchdowns. We do have a safety and 2 blocked kicks. I don't think I checked this out. I kind of forgot to last year. But we are 12th on offense this season. And on defense, we are 8th. Okay, so the team's actually really solid right now. Josh Allen wins MVP. Nobody from the Cardinals. NFC Offensive Player of the Year is Russell Wilson. Tua, though, is at number 8. I will take that. Defensive Player of the Year is Alec Ogletree. Sure. Dante Hightower at number 6. Offensive Rookie of the Year does not go to Tua or Jerry Jeudy. Goes to Justin Herbert. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Grant Delpit on the Eagles. He's not a player you normally see on the Eagles, so that's kind of interesting to me. Anthony Jennings at number 7. All right, we didn't really play all that much. I'm kind of surprised he was even in the top 10. This team is absolutely loaded. We're an 88 overall, 88 offense, 89 defense, I'm pretty sure. Minka Fitzpatrick has a new ability, and we have to take on the Dallas Cowboys. I'm sure we're higher overall, but they're an 86. They're actually super close. Let's go ahead and take a look at the team really quickly because we had a bunch of, hidden development traits to reveal. So if you guys don't know what these players' developments are, I will show you very quickly. Jerry Jeudy has Superstar X Factor. Jedrick Wills has Star. Tua has Superstar. This offense is just way too good right now. Defensively, I don't think there's anything to reveal on this side of the ball, but the team is just insane. We should totally be able to beat the Dallas Cowboys here. Let's advance by to the conference championship. Did we win the game? We did not win the game, 34-28. Okay, if we would have won the Super Bowl that year, I probably would have ended the video, but I will go one more season. This just means I have to sift through the entire draft, looking from players out of Alabama. I doubt any of them would even start, but let's go ahead and try to find some guys here. I'm all the way down here in the 6th round, and I have found one player. Where is Ferris State? I don't think I've ever seen this school before. Interesting. But yeah, I found one player, and he's in the 1st round. I don't think I missed anyone. I very well could have, because I'm kind of just staring at a screen. Maybe I completely missed somebody. I hope I didn't, at least. I'm just going to go until we get into the undrafted guys, which is right now. Okay, so I only saw one guy, which actually makes this pretty simple because then I can just trade up to that draft pick. I can probably trade up to like the number 1 overall pick and land him. But the Browns are back in the Super Bowl going up against the Cowboys here. The Browns win this Super Bowl 23-17. Let's see if anyone went up in development though. I don't think anyone here on the offense went up in development. It's all good though. Defensively, maybe some players on this side. Actually kind of surprised Dante Hightower is not up to X Factor at this point. I don't think anyone did go up in development. It's okay though. So let me bring back the players I need to just for this final season. And I will go to the draft. Okay, I have the number 1 overall pick here in this draft, and we're going to be taking one player in the entire draft, and it's going to be Bruce Collie. He looks awful, but maybe if he's good, he'll get some playing time. I didn't even bother scouting him. Here we go. Are you anything special? Not at all. He's a 65 overall. Okay, let's simulate to the end of the draft. That wasn't even worth going into. All right, so for the last season here with this team, it's an 88 overall, 88 offense, 89 defense. This team is incredible once again. The only difference I made on offense is that I moved Cam Robinson to left guard. I should have done this last year. I kind of just forgot, to be real. But this offense should still put up insane numbers. I hope they do even better than they did a year ago. The defense is also still like just as good. Landon Collins is starting at strong safety though. This Collie guy is going to get nowhere near a starting job on this team. This team is still awesome, so let's see how they play for this final season. The team made the playoffs here again, but sadly they did not go undefeated. They finished 12-4, still winning the NFC West by a pretty comfortable margin. Tua had another really good season. This one seemed to be far better, though. 4,173 yards, 34 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. This could be MVP. I doubt that this is good enough, but he's probably like top 5. Derrick Henry had a phenomenal season. 5.6 yards per carry, 15 rushing touchdowns. Josh Jacobs averaged over 5 yards per carry. This rushing game is just stupid. Receiving-wise, though, Amari Cooper, 1,147 yards, almost had 49 for some reason. 5 touchdowns for him. Julio Jones, 9 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 10 touchdowns. Didn't get many catches, but almost 1,000 yards. The sack numbers are going down. That's what I like to see. On the defense, though, 117 tackles for Dante Hightower, 11 tackles for loss for Daron Payne, 11.5 sacks for Quinnen Williams. Kind of adapting to that edge role. Doesn't make all that much sense, but it really doesn't matter here in the game. I kind of figured they'd be able to play at least okay enough to make it into the playoffs, and that's exactly what they're doing here. We have 1 blocked kick from Deshaun Hand. All right, pretty cool to see. Forgot to check out fumbles. Let me go do that really quickly. I feel like there's a chance I forgot to do this last year as well. I apologize if that's the case. I didn't do that on purpose. But we do have a couple forced fumbles, and we have a good number of those recovered. Okay, I think all but 1 were recovered. We are 3rd on offense, and we are 20th on defense. Okay, so maybe the 4-3 is not doing its thing. Tua is here at number 5 for MVP. That's cool. NFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Dak Prescott. Tua, though, at number 2. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Luke Kuechly. Dante Hightower at number 5. CJ Mosley was actually down there as well. Didn't expect to see him. That's why I reacted so late to that. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Emmanuel Tate. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Ricky Zachary. Bruce Collie somehow is in there at number 9. I'll never understand that one. Dak Prescott, though, is the best quarterback. Tua, though, at number 2. Best running back is going to be Christian McCaffrey. Derrick Henry at number 3. Best wide receiver is Christian Kirk on the Falcons. Yeah, I did all these trades like straight up from the menu, so that's why Christian Kirk is over there. Deebo Samuel's up to an 86. That's actually really cool. Jerry Jeudy and Julio Jones at 4 and 5. We have Amari Cooper at number 10 as well. All 3 of our receivers are in this list. That is awesome. Best offensive lineman goes to Zach Martin. We do have Ryan Kelly, though, at number 8. Best defensive lineman goes to Aaron Donald. Quinnen Williams at number 4. Best linebacker goes to Khalil Mack. CJ Mosley, Dante Hightower at number 9 and number 10. Best defensive back goes to Byron Jones. The new Dolphin, of course. I'm not using a fully updated roster because I don't think there are any made right now in the middle of free agency. That's kind of why I'm doing this video now instead of a rebuild. I was going to do a rebuild today, but I realized that free agency is still going on. It's pretty chaotic with, players switching teams and whatnot. I'm going to let this go for a little bit and then, work on finding a good roster with all the new free agent acquisitions. Best kicker, though, is Matt Prater. We have Blair Spellman at number 5. I couldn't find a kicker from Alabama, so it's not that big of a deal there. I don't think the guy went to Alabama, at least. I don't even know who he is. I didn't even draft him. I'm pretty sure the computer signed him. All right, the team is a 91 overall now across the board. This team is fantastic. If we lose to the Cowboys again, I'm going to be livid. They're an 88 overall, though. They are super good. So I guess if there is a team to lose to, it makes sense that it is going to be the Cowboys, if it happens again. And it does happen again. 37-31. We can't seem to beat the Cowboys, which is super frustrating. But let's simulate past the Super Bowl. Just go ahead and see who wins it. The Panthers and the Jets make it to the Super Bowl. I think the Jets are going to win this one. They're pretty good in simulation sometimes. Yeah, they do. 35-32. I guess the team regressed a little because we are no longer 91s. But a quick look at the offense. Tua is up to X Factor. Just this offense is incredible, man. It's just so stupid. Defensively, CJ Mosley is up to superstar development. I don't think anyone else went up. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. A few of you guys told me in my last video in this series that you made rosters for me to check out. I will definitely be doing that in the near future. I just wanted to get this one out very quickly. But thank you guys so much for watching one final time. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.